Well, since I finally finished Adventure Time Disneyland, I figured I'd talk about a movie based on a popular cartoon, The Loud House. Now, I've seen The Loud House before, and I thought it was pretty good. It's not one of the greatest shows I've seen, but I can understand the popularity. The animation is good, the characters are likable and even relatable, and I do like the heart of the show, which is about family. And the show's doing well so far with 5 seasons, and it became as popular as SpongeBob. So it would only make sense to make a movie out of it. The whole premise of the show is about a boy named Lincoln who is the middle child among 10 sisters, and they have to survive the entire day as one big family, which involves mishaps and hijinks ensues. In the movie, Lincoln is pretty much down in the dumps that his sister is getting more popularity while he stays in the shadows, so he decides to learn about his ancestors to figure out what sort of natural skills or talent he has. It's revealed that his dad's family originated from Scotland, and they were actually part royal. So they travel to the small kingdom in Scotland where they learn about their ancestors' history, deciding whether or not they should stay in this kingdom, but there's a big bad villain that wants to get rid of the Loud so she can claim the throne all to herself. So after watching the entire movie myself, I thought it was okay. There were several things in the movie that I did enjoy. I really liked the opening where it fully established how did the Loud family became the Loud family. There was a good montage where Lincoln plans out everything to make sure all the sisters do their respective activities on time. There was even a good motive and even character development where Lincoln tried to figure out his ancestors, where he talked to his best friend Clyde, where he got his baking skills from his grandmother. Big things like that do make you feel welcome about what the Loud House is about. But when Lincoln decides to put the Duke's crown on his head, that's where the movie goes down. The plot of the movie is obviously predictable, where it's just about Lincoln trying to become a somebody, and his family had to decide whether or not to stay in this kingdom or not, which obviously they're not gonna stay. And with that, it just ended up feeling like an extended episode of the TV series instead of a Loud House movie. Yes, there are things that are considered cinematic, like dragons and encountering ghosts of the ancestors, which is something that you wouldn't see in a Loud House episode. But my real question is, would they even fit in a Loud House movie or even an episode? What works with the Loud House is that it's down to earth and simplistic. It doesn't rely on fancy elements of any kind. It's just a family trying to survive one big family. So why doesn't this movie work as much as, say, as the SpongeBob SquarePants movie? Well, what works with that movie is that we get to explore outside Bikini Bottom, encountering sea creatures and how they view humans as giants. And because it was based on a cartoon about a sponge living under the sea, these kind of scenarios do fit in the SpongeBob world. I'll give the Loud House movie some credit, there's some nice world building on this kingdom they visit. But overall, don't expect any Loud House family member to stay in this kingdom. Now, one of the things we want to see in this Loud House movie is the Loud family. And it does, but there's nothing new from the family we had yet to learn about. The characters are still in character, but they're only there to rely on their one trope or comic relief moments. Lincoln is the main focus of the movie, where he wants to become special as his sisters. He's the good-hearted kid that always comes up with the best plan to make sure the family survives the entire day, or better in this case, he's the man with the plan. As for his family, they really don't offer a lot, neither his parents or his sisters. You got Lori, who is the old sister. Lindy is the fashionista that acts the most like Lindsay from Total Drama Island. Luna is the rock star. Lynn is the sports fanatic. Luann is the jokester that tells bad puns. Lucy is the goth girl. Lola and Lana are the twins who were once a spoiled princess, and the other's a tomboy that likes animals and getting dirty. Lisa's the child genius, and Lily is the baby that acts as the cute one. None of these characters play a major role in the movie, which I can understand since there are 10 sisters and it really is that hard to give each of them a character goal to achieve. But really, you don't have to give each of these sisters a goal. All it takes is some nice interactions to help Lincoln realize maybe he was special after all since he's with his sisters. And that's what we like in the Loud House movie, the heart of family. But the major issue with this movie is that the Loud sisters barely interact with Lincoln. They just pretty much do their own separate things, relying on their one jokes. Yes, a few Loud sisters did play their parts, like Lisa figuring out where they originated, or when Lucy gets in contact with the spirits of their royal family. Which is really weird that the royal family resembles exactly like the current Loud family. But at the end of the day, that's all they were given in this movie. The only Loud sister that got any form of family interaction is Lily, where Lincoln tries to teach her on how to survive the family. And once in a while, she becomes Lincoln's partner in one of his magic acts. There's also Angus, the groundskeeper of the kingdom, and he's actually a likable character thanks to David Tennant's performance. But then comes the villain of the movie, Morgad, and yeah, I did not have a good time with her. Her character in the movie is that she's trying to get rid of the Louds from the kingdom so she can become the Duchess. I can definitely understand why she did those evil things since she finds the Loud family loud and obnoxious, but overall, she's just a whiny and selfish maid that wants the crown so she becomes Duchess. She's not even a threatening or even funny villain. And come to think of it, if she really wanted the crown this entire time, why couldn't she do that earlier when there was no Louds around before the Loud family arrived? There was an obvious backstory that it was her ancestor what killed the royal Louds by using this gem that hypnotized a dragon. Yet Morag and her ancestor waited centuries to get that crown after they got rid of the royal Louds until now's the good time to go get it? This makes no sense. Now there were some other elements in the movie that definitely helped the movie's balance. The animation is good, and I definitely like the musical numbers in this movie. Life is Better Loud is a great opening, Ordinary Me is a good Broadway number, and I do like the Duke song involving Lincoln and the David Tennant character. There were some nice ideas to make a Loud House movie, while others needs work. Fans of the Loud House will definitely have a blast with this movie. For any newcomers, they're not really missing anything, to be very honest. All it is just an extended episode of the TV show. But this is not going to be the only Loud House movie to be released in 2021. There's going to be a live-action Loud House Christmas movie on TV. I can definitely see a live-action Loud House working out okay since the Loud House is not a fancy like Nickelodeon show like SpongeBob, Rugrats, or The Fairly OddParents. But at the end of the day, it's just another live-action movie based on a cartoon, let alone a live-action TV movie based off a cartoon. I'm still not sure about the Loud House Christmas movie, but I thought this Loud House movie on Netflix was decent. This movie was definitely loud, but it wasn't obnoxious or extravagant.